let's talk about how I shot this Capri Sun ad on an FX6. All right, we're back at it again. Mika Matinazad here. This time I'm breaking down a commercial that I shot for Capri Sun. Yes, the drink we all stabbed with a straw as kids.
You can stab a Capri Sun wherever the f you want, James. Hey,
Little
Ken,
thing
look
there.
at this.
This one was a blast. We have some creative lighting to talk through, fun lens choices, challenges of framing for both wide and vertical formats in today's digital age, and mixing practical set element builds, you know, with some VFX magic that's worked in. This ad opens with a bird's eye view of a young girl looking up, sipping her moon punch Capri Sun. You know, when she's drinking, all right. When she's done drinking her moon punch Capri Sun, that's a mouthful, she reaches out into the sky, grabs the moon, pulls it down like it's her second drink. I don't know why I said that. That's like a weird thing to say. She puts the straw in, sip, and we fade out. Quick 15 seconds. We're out. We're sold out. I don't know. I actually don't know what the ROI is on this ad, but I'll just break down what I had to do for this shoot.
Yeah.
Years prior, so we don't need to see the actual movie.
Okay, if you've seen any of my past videos, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for taking time to watch this. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. That way I know that you're enjoying content like this and I can go and make more breakdown videos similar to this.
Thank you.
All right, to give some project context, we had a fairly small crew. I was the DP for this shoot. I had a first AC, a gaffer, 2 grips as far as, you know, G&E team and camera is concerned. We also had some other people in the art department, production manager, production assistants, producers, client, all that stuff. Together we had like maybe 13 or 14 people on set. The director, Kristyna Archer, pitched this wild, whimsical concept that blended, you know, like a fantasy world with tactile kind of in-camera elements. This gig actually came through a local Nashville production company that I have shot several branded pieces with over the years. We had one full shoot day planned for this, and in addition to the work we had to do, I had to call the director to talk with her about ideas, talk with the producer, and also have another call with my gaffer in addition to discuss our lighting plan. Let's talk about gear. The camera we chose for this project was a Sony FX6 because of budget. Angenieux 30-90 zoom is my go-to lens for shoots like this. We also had a Canon Rangefinder 50mm dream lens for some tight shots. In terms of filtration, no filtration because the VFX wanted a clean plate to work with and comp stuff in post. Okay, I'm gonna go maybe shot by shot and just break down lighting and how we kind of went about doing that. For this first shot, we had a slow zoom in on our hero sipping her Capri Sun. We added a motor, you know, for zoom control so we can do a slow zoom in. And then we also did a few takes without the zoom in case VFX wanted to create, you know, that zoom digitally in post. Okay, so for our key light, we had the light mat 4 with a softbox in front of it and a 4x frame of 216 diffusion for an ultra soft, warm daylight feel. There was some spill happening on the side that I didn't want to hit the grass with, so we added some extra diff and netting to smooth the fall off on the grass. We put 2 negative frames on each side to block the spill from bouncing off the wall or coming into the lens. And then the grass that you actually see in this ad is real grass. These little squares you buy, it's called sod. And the production designer brought a big pile of them. A couple of feet away from our key light, we had the sun wrap, which was like just this little two foot tube, adding a kiss of warm highlight on her cheek side, just to extend the sunlight. And then we had an edge light behind her, 45 degrees. That was a Nanlite 60C with a lens attachment to just help further separate her from her background. Between the day to night transition that we had to do, we had one of our grips stationed right by the light and was ready to flag it off for that transition, which I'll get into in a second.
Okay.
And then right behind her as a backlight, there was a 4-foot tube that had a grid on it, armed out over the grass hill to just kind of mimic the sun and enhance the shift from the day to night look. For the transition, which was super fun to figure out, and I love just some in-camera effects that you can do on set. The goal was to fade from a warm, sunny day to a cool moonlight evening look. Barrett, my fabulous gaffer, mapped out all the fixtures to kind of dim smoothly, except the freaking Nanlite 60C, which flickered when we dimmed it. So what we had to do is to have a grip position there to manually cut it off with a small frame when we went from the day to night look, which you'll see in this BTS clip.
3, 2, 1, action. You're up to something.
I don't exactly remember what the white balance shift was, but from my memory, I think it was going from a 3000 Kelvin look to 8000 Kelvin white balance for a more saturated blue night look. So some of the fixtures were a little more saturated with like an orange look for a sunny daylight, and then when we went into the evening, it became more of a light blue color that, you know, is a little more saturated and exaggerated than like an evening look. So for example, the 4-foot tube we had behind her went from like a orange daylight look to like a lighter blue color versus like an evening kind of like moonlight look, to just kind of help exaggerate that transition. Okay, so after this moment happens, we go into the moon shot. Basically, when her hand goes through the night sky scene, we had to swap out the grass hill and film towards the blue screen. We had, you know, planned to comp in the sky in post, so we lit the blue screen with one light on each side, put negative frame on the side to control the spill. And then we had our talent lay down so that her hand could reach up naturally in like a straight angle towards the moon. And then we had the moon actually propped up, kind of suspended from this C-stand arm that we had wrapped a bunch of blue tape around to just help with VFX. And all she had to do was just grab it and pull it out. The lighting for this stayed fairly similar. We swapped our key light side to the other side just because we were kind of flipping, you know, when you go from the shot on her into the sky look. So we put the key light on this side, same diff, and then we had a tube on the side there to fill her in, and then one tube light again to kind of etch her. And then we had the two panels that were hitting the blue screen all on softboxes to just kind of have a softer fill. In terms of VFX, I'm just a camera guy. The real wizard here was Matthew from Brainchild VFX, who pulled this all together in post. You should go check out his work, and his website is linked down below. Incredible artist, so stoked that I got to make this with him. And there you have it, folks. That's how the sausage is made. Fun shoot. Had a great time. Small crew. A lot of coordination between lighting, camera, and VFX. If you enjoyed stuff like this, if you enjoyed this breakdown, please give me a kind sub and comment with any questions. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.